everybody. Welcome back to another midweek episode. So recently I was having a conversation with one of our members about what it looks like to share your faith. And as that conversation progressed, I realized that there's really two different prongs to what it looks like when it comes to genuinely living our life for Jesus. And it involves how we welcome those that we don't yet know in our congregation, and how we invite those outside of our congregation that we know but don't yet have a relationship with Jesus. And so I thought here on the other side of Easter, I'd just take a few weeks in our midweek messages to talk to you a little bit more about evangelism, witnessing, sharing our faith, and today I want to talk a little bit more about hospitality. So hospitality is this biblical concept of love for a stranger. So in Hebrews chapter 13, it says to show love for the strangers, because in that you don't know if you're actually entertaining angels. And I think that we have room to grow in this area as a congregation. Just think for a moment, if you regularly worship here at St. John's or at another church, when you walk into church for worship, do you gravitate toward people that you already know? Do you look around and go, who do I know who I can talk with? Or do you look around and see who you don't yet know? See, I think when we can shift the focus to looking around to seeing those that we don't yet know and reach out to make a connection with them, that's when we truly learn what hospitality is. I mean, can you imagine having somebody over to your house and there's a party or there's a celebration and they walk in and nobody really talks to them? That's not good hospitality, is it? No, as soon as somebody walks in, you greet them, you connect with them, you help them to know what to expect, and then you connect them with somebody else so that they can feel comfortable. So what would it look like for us to do that more as a church? What would it look like this next week when you come into worship to look around and to see somebody who maybe isn't talking to anybody else, or to see somebody that you don't yet know, and to walk up to them and have a conversation with them, genuinely connect with them. Now, I know some of you, this pushes you way out of your comfort zone, but let me tell you, you can do this. And I just want to give you a couple of suggestions and tips and insights into that. The first thing to do is just break the silence and introduce yourself to them. What I often say is, I don't think I've had a chance to meet you yet. And then introduce yourself, ask their name, and then in your back pocket, have a series of questions that you can ask just to show genuine curiosity about them. Like, what brings you here today? Or what's your connection to St. John's? Or how long have you lived in this community? Or tell me a little bit more about your family or your work or what you enjoy doing. Just have a handful of questions in your back pocket that you can ask somebody that you don't yet know. And as you're talking with them, you're looking for connections. You're looking for maybe people that you know in common, or maybe common things that you enjoy together. But then take it a step further. Don't just make a connection. Don't just be curious about them, but help them to connect with somebody else. Look around. If there's somebody else there that you know, draw them over and say, hey, let me introduce you to this person. This person is new here at St. John's, and you can share a little bit more about what you've learned about that person and help them to make that connection. I truly believe that if we're going to grow as a church, this is an area where we need to get better. We need to be better at connecting other people. We need to be better at connecting with people who are here for the first time, because I can tell you as a pastor, I look out and I see all kinds of new faces, and I can't be the one to talk to all of them. I get a chance to connect with a few, but when I see you connecting with people, when I see you doing what you do best, that's when we see the church grow. That's when we love like family. That's one of our core mission pillars here at St. John's. Because we don't want anyone to walk in and walk out without having a genuine conversation with someone. That's my goal. That's the litmus test. We want people to be known. We want people to be known by name, and we want people to be known for their story. And ultimately, in that, we want to be able to connect them to Jesus. So, go and live that life of hospitality. Love those that you don't yet know. And join me again next week as I'm going to talk about ways that we can engage people in our community that we already know, but maybe aren't yet connected to a church or to a relationship with Jesus. So thanks for joining me today. I'll see you again next time.